has a story to claim. Sit back, listen to conversation between Terry Lynn and new authors on the rise, and let the journey begin.
Hi there. First off, no, you're not imagining things. Yes, I'm using an artificial intelligence voice. Stick around and I'll tell you why in under a minute. Welcome to Conversations between Terry Lynn and new authors on the rise. I'm Terry Lynn Burney and I'm so glad you're here. This is my very first episode and in it you'll get to know me. I'll talk about my journey as an author and a bit about my personal life. So why the AI voice? Here's the deal. I have cerebral palsy and I'm not able to speak. But thanks to technology, I can still share my voice and my story with you. I was born in 1970 in Memphis, Tennessee. When I was born, doctors told my mom to put me in a home because they said I'd be a vegetable. Thankfully, my incredible mom refused to accept that. Because of her love and dedication, I didn't just grow, I thrived. In 1991, I earned my GED and later an associate degree in computer science. In 1993, I met the love of my life and we just celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary. A few years ago, he decided to leave his job to become my full-time caregiver. It was the best gift, no more rotating aides, just the one person who knows me best. We recently got a puppy, which is a German Shepherd Husky mix. I named her Cuddles after the puppy in my next book. Does anyone know my language? She is 2.5 months old. We're going to get Cuddles trained to be my service dog. I'm pretty excited about that. She starts training on June 20th when she'll be 3 months old. True, I became a published children's book author. I write stories that feature kids with cerebral palsy. 'Cause representation matters, my tagline is children's books featuring children with cerebral palsy, written by a woman with cerebral palsy. One of the highlights of my journey so far was writing a personalized book called Abby Ability for a little girl in Florida, helping her understand why she has cerebral palsy. It was such a joy working with her mom to answer all her daughter's questions through that story. I hope to do more collaborations like that in the future. In 2020, I found the Children's Book Mastery Summit, and by 2022, I joined their Picture Book Bootcamp. That experience changed my life. It lit a fire in me I didn't know I had. I absolutely love every aspect of the Children's Book Mastery author coaching. Karen's teachings are always spot on and incredibly helpful. I'm so grateful for how willing Karen is to offer support whenever I need it. I'm part of 5 critique groups within the program and I enjoy them immensely. Everyone in these groups feels like family. I can reach out to them anytime for help or feedback on anything I'm working on. We also support each other through everything happening in our personal lives. One thing I've learned is that families don't always realize or appreciate that what we're doing is actual work, not just a hobby. But other authors truly understand how hard it is to build an author career. That's why I'm so thankful for everyone in this incredible coaching program. I honestly wouldn't be where I am now without them, Karen and her amazing staff at Children's Book Mastery and Get Your Book Illustrations. Her other company, Get Your Book Illustrations, does a wonderful job illustrating children's books. I'll put the link to these awesome companies in this episode's show notes. So far, I've published 4 children's books: The Magical Hair Bows, Abby Ability, and 2 books in my series The Buddies Adventures, The Fishing Buddies and The Gaming Buddies. You can order a personalized signed copy of my books on my website, which is terrylynnburneyauthor.com. I also created an online course called Writer's Website Workshop to help aspiring authors build their websites step by step, with my support all along the way. More information about my online course can be found on my website. Now I'm launching this podcast. Here's a funny backstory. A few years ago, during a marketing class, there was a question. Would we want to do a podcast or blog? I said I'll do a blog, and my friend asked me, why not a podcast? I told her if she had a way for me to speak, I'll happily do a podcast. She said, oh. We laughed, and laughed. Fast forward to 2024, I discovered this amazing tool, revoicer.com. It gives me a voice and not just one, many to choose from. That's when I realized I can have a podcast. I can interview authors, especially new ones just starting out. And that's how Conversations Between Terry Lynn and New Authors on the Rise was born. I wanted to start a podcast where new authors can share their stories and get some well-deserved exposure. So I came up with Conversations Between Terry Lynn and New Authors. I hope you enjoy my weekly podcast, which drops every Monday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, I will tell you my answers to some of the questions that I'll ask new authors when I talk with them. I've always dreamed of writing a children's book about kids with cerebral palsy. I didn't see a book with a character with CP when I was a child, so I wanted to write one for kids. I write for 5 to 8-year-olds because honestly, writing 500 to 800 words is actually easier for me. It's where I feel most comfortable. I hope children learn from my books that those kids with a disability are the same as they are. My advice for someone dreaming of writing a book would be to go for it. You can do anything you want to. I'm excited to announce my upcoming book, Does Anyone Know My Language? On October 6, 2025, in honor of Cerebral Palsy Awareness Day, and it'll be on pre-order in July. This book is especially meaningful to me as it will feature ASL signs alongside the text. Since I rely on sign language to communicate, I really enjoy writing about it, particularly about a young girl's lonely feelings of not being able to speak. Last year at a vendor event, someone suggested I write a book incorporating sign language, and that idea stuck with me. Since then, when my husband and I share this idea, people are always excited and interested in the book. Okay, my listeners. Tune in next week when I talk with the newly children's book author, Nancy Pushkar, and find out what she likes to do when she isn't writing. Till then, happy reading with your kiddos. Remember, look for all links for the companies, including the link to my website that I mentioned on this episode in this episode's show notes.